Today's video is presented to you by the EA Creator Network. Special thanks to EA for providing me early access to College Football 26 to record this video. Please keep in mind everything you're about to see is still a work in progress and things can change. If you want to see more early access College Football 26 content, be sure to hit that thumbs up button on the video and subscribe to the channel. What's going on, everybody? It's Popular Stranger, and we are back with another early access College Football 26 video. In this one, we're going to be breaking down the best one-star schools to rebuild in Dynasty Mode. This is a video I did last year at early launch of College Football 25, and it was received very well, something it looks like you guys want to see. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Now, there are a number of factors that you can take into consideration when selecting a dynasty to rebuild, whether it's the logo, the conference they're in, the players that they already have. That's going to be all up to you. I'm going to tell you what I was mostly looking forward to, and I saw the comments in last year's video that speed isn't the only thing that matters, but I'm going to be honest, it's the primary thing that I'm looking at anytime I'm looking to build up a school, and that's one of the main things that I factored in when making these decisions. When you get to the select your team screen within Dynasty Mode, you do have a filter where you can select from 0 all the way up to 5 stars, and I didn't include these two teams, but it is worth noting that this year we have two 0-star schools, 61 overall Akron, and then 64 overall Kent State, and they're not even a full 1-star school. If you look at both of them, they're more of a half a star. Also, one of the big pieces of feedback I saw in the comment section of last year's video is you wanted me to do the same thing for 2-star schools, and you wanted to see all of the 2-star schools. I'm not going to do that in video, but after the game officially launches, if you guys request this enough in the comment section of this video, I will do a follow-up video on 2- and 3-star schools. With over 40 1-star schools to choose from, I was able to narrow it down to a grand total of 8, and we'll go through those in a moment. As I mentioned earlier, one of the main things that I factored in as far as attributes go is going to be speed. We looked at physical attributes like height at some of the key positions, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, cornerback, safety, middle linebacker, things of that nature. And again, I am totally understanding that that's not the only thing that matters. We also factored in the state that some of these colleges resides in, and that's mostly going to be used for recruiting purposes and the pipeline states that you can have access to. When it comes to 1-star schools, I don't think conferences are going to matter as much, but it is definitely something that can come into play when making your decision on a 1-star team to rebuild. And also uniforms and logos. Look, you want to look really nice on the field. So those are going to be all of your 1-star schools. And as I said, we narrowed it down to 8. Let's go through them. Side note, if you want to look through these rosters yourself, go to the Create and Share tab when you're on your home screen and go down to the roster section. This will allow you to view all of the players in the game on every single team. First up, we have the ECU Pirates. I'm pretty sure if you go back and watch my video from last year, they were also in that one. They got a really nice looking logo, good color scheme. It's not all about that. But as a 1-star school, the highest OVR player on the entire roster right now is going to be 6'3" wide receiver Anthony Smith. At an 85 OVR, he does come in with 92 speed. And if you look at the next player in the depth chart sorted by OVR, you have London Montgomery. He's only a sophomore at the running back position. Hopefully you can keep on the roster for a couple years after that. And he does give you the shifty ability, which is really good for ball carrier moves and also has 92 speed. And guess what? If you like to run the ball a lot, you like dual back systems, or you just want to take advantage of the brand new dynamic substitution feature within the game where you can swap out players without pausing it, you have Parker Jenkins, another running back, 82 OVR with 93 speed. He's the fastest player on the entire roster, and he is a junior, so you might be able to get him for one more year. He, unlike London Montgomery, does not have any type of abilities. You're also going to get two pretty good options at the most important position on the roster, the quarterback position. You got 79 overall Kaiten Hauser, who is a junior, and then 78 overall Mike Wright, who is a senior. Total opposites when it comes to play style. Mike Wright, 90 speed versus Hauser with only 78 speed. If you like a pocket passer, you're going to want to go with Hauser. If you like a mobile quarterback, Mike Wright's going to be your option. And again, I totally get it. Speed isn't the only attribute that matters when it comes to a quarterback here. Look at the differences in the short, mid, and deep throw accuracy. I still prefer a mobile quarterback, but if you want somebody a little bit more accurate, With less speed, Katen Hauser is going to be your guy. Overall, though, this offense looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to rebuild. Also on defense, if you like to play man coverage, and again, these aren't going to be the best players in the world because it's a one-star school, but if you like to play man coverage, I think you got some dogs out there for you, some decent speed, everything factored in, considering all of these players are well below an 80 OVR. But in totality, if you look at like the first 5 cornerbacks on the roster here, it looks like they would favor a little bit more of a man coverage style of defense. So Eastern Carolina, one of 8 teams at the 1-star rating that I think are worth rebuilding. Another 1-star squad that you can rebuild with a nice color scheme and logo is going to be Coastal Carolina, staying in the Carolinas. And again, you can focus these teams on their pipeline states as well. You can have potential rivals with North Carolina and South Carolina. And as you improve this squad, try to steal some of those players from them. The best OVR player on this roster is going to be 6'2" wide receiver, and he is a senior, so you only get him for 1 year, but it's going to be Jamison Tucker coming in with an 83 OVR and 90 speed. To me, rebuilding 1-star schools is all about the project players, and if you take a look, we have a 63 OVR wide receiver, only 5'10", and I'm terrible at names, so I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce this one, but he's only a sophomore, and he's the fastest player on the team with 92 speed. You also have a really nice 69 overall Robbie Washington, standing at 5'11", at the cornerback position, but 91 speed, and he does give you a couple physical abilities, which I think is probably rare for a 69 overall player. You get layout and house call on this player. Also at quarterback, 2 more options here. It's going to be a little bit difficult for you. You guys can choose on your own here, but you got Emmett Brown, a junior, with 86 speed at a 75 OVR, and if you look at his accuracies, the short throw, mid throw, and deep throw are all much better than Roquan Barber. But if you take a look at Roquan Barber, he's +4 in throw power. He does give you the pull down physical ability, and he is actually +1 in OVR, -2 in speed. So I'll leave that decision up to you, but 2 pretty good prospects at quarterback to rock with this squad. And it's also important to keep in mind that Roquan Barber is only a sophomore, so you might be able to get 3 years of eligibility with this player at the quarterback. Colorado State is another 1-star school to take a look at. They're set up nicely at the skill position spot, but their highest overall rated player is going to be a right tackle in Aaron Karras. You also have sophomore running back Justin Marshall, who comes in with an 83 OVR and 91 speed. At wide receiver, your top 4 guys have decent speed for a 1-star school, given their OVR as well, a couple of them with abilities, and none of them are seniors. You have Kojo Antwi with sidestep as a junior, Jordan Ross with 91 speed as a sophomore, 6'2" Armani Winfield, a junior, and P.D. Tucker, also a junior, with 88 speed, is going to give you press pro as his physical ability. On the defensive side for Colorado State, you have edge rusher Jaquez Evans. He's going to be an 81 OVR, and they got some decent cornerbacks, one of them being Jahari Rogers, coming in at 80 OVR with 92 speed. He is a senior, so you're only going to get him for 1 year, standing at 6 foot tall. And if you're looking for a project, Dylan Phelps, only a sophomore, 3 years of eligibility, hopefully for you, standing at 6'3". He's going to be CDB number 2 on this roster. In the back end of the secondary, you have Trey Vincent, only a junior, standing at 6'3", 70 overall strong safety with 85 speed. Georgia State, obviously going to be in a great state for recruiting, and you can face Georgia every year if you want to. They have a really fun player. He is a senior, so you're only going to get him for the 1 year, but 6'3" wide receiver Ted Hurst. He's going to give you double dip, shifty, and sidestep, all for physical abilities. Not only is he the highest OVR player on the squad, but he's also the fastest with his 92 speed. You also have 4 starting running backs potentially here, all very similar in OVR, but you take a look at Rashad Amos, who is a senior with physical abilities like head first and armbar, and then the junior Branson Robinson, who also has head first and armbar along with downhill. They are number 2 and 3 when it comes to the highest OVR rated players on the entire roster. And with Robinson specifically, you have him in the junior class. Same thing with Jordan Simmons. And in the sophomore class, DJ Braswell. Again, lots of running backs on this roster, so if you like to run the ball a lot, take a look at Georgia State. Defensively in the secondary, they're going to be a bit shaky here. You can see the highest OVR cornerback is going to be Justin Battle at a 71, and they don't have a ton of speed at this position either. Same thing's going to go with Jordan Huff at strong safety, and at free safety, you got D.I.C. Hopkins, who, funny enough, is also going to be getting a cut item at the beginning of the year. But for pass rush, and again, all things considered, these are one-star schools. You have to keep it in mind here. You got some decent edge rushers, and in the middle of your defensive line as well, you got two decent defensive tackles, one in Lewis II here being a senior, and then Sir Mel's at a 75 OVR and 85 strength is a junior. I think summarizing this entire Georgia State squad, if you like to rebuild teams that are good with running backs and the defensive line, this is going to be the one-star school for you. Louisiana Tech is going to be the next one-star school that I recommend trying to rebuild early on here. Obviously, in the state of Louisiana, recruiting-wise, you're going to be competing with LSU. You can also put them on your schedule every year to try to boost up the program. The highest-rated player on the roster is going to be Colby Fields. He's a will linebacker. He is a senior. He gives you the physical ability and hammer. And he also comes in with 86 tackle, 87 hit power, and 75 zone coverage. 3 of the 5 fastest players on the roster at the wide receiver position. It's always fun to me looking at the height of the college athletes compared to Madden players in the depth chart. Dedrick Latualis, probably butchered that one. My apologies if so, is only 5'7", but he is the fastest player, or at least tied as the fastest player on the roster with 91 speed. You also have Jay Wilkerson, who gives you sidestep and is a junior at the wide receiver position. He also has 91 speed, a little bit taller there at 6'1", and if you go down a couple more spots in the depth chart, Devin Gandy, another senior wide receiver, standing at 6'1". Your top 2 cornerbacks on the defensive side of the ball, decent zone coverage rating, 78 zone for Cedric Woods, and for Noah Bigelow, 83. Unfortunately, both of these guys are seniors, so you're only going to get them for 1 year. But if you take a look, there's a 65 overall, 5'8" cornerback who is a freshman, and Rakeem Meander, and he does come through with 90 speed. Again, a bit of a project for all of you looking to rebuild these squads that don't have the greatest rosters. You also have a sophomore in Alonzo Jackson Jr., a Sam linebacker with 72 zone coverage, 6'1", and as a sophomore, only a 64 OVR, but he does have 84 speed. To me, this looks like a player with really good potential to upgrade. You also have about 4 different quarterbacks to choose from here, all sophomores and all pretty similar in speed and OVR. The interesting thing is if you take a look at their short and mid-throw accuracies along with the throw power, they're actually not that half bad, and it looks like the top 2 options are probably going to be your best out of the 4, with Devontae Fitzpatrick having on time as his physical ability. From the great state of Texas, you have the Sam Houston Bearcats, another project here on the rebuild, a 1-star school with their highest OVR player being Shane Porter, who is a senior at the running back position, coming through with 90 speed. Eamon Allen is going to be the fastest player on the roster, a 5'9" cornerback from Austin, Texas. He also being a senior, but he has 92 speed. Again, like most of these schools, speed top heavy is going to be running back, wide receiver, cornerback, and you can see they have a ton of running backs on the roster to choose from. Just like we said earlier, if you like a dual threat system, you're going to have a lot of running backs to choose from, but the one that caught my attention here is freshman Jarius Moore with 90 speed, and he has takeoff, which I think is going to be better suited for tight ends and wide receivers, but takeoff and safety valve are going to be his physical abilities. Outside of Eamon Allen, if you take a look at their secondary, again, has some decent speed there, not so much height, but a lot of underclassmen. You have freshmen and sophomore cornerbacks next to Allen here, and if you take a look at the free safeties, you got Jaden Scott, a junior, and at strong safety, Jalen Stanford, who is a sophomore. So some room to grow with a lot of the players on the defensive side of the ball. They aren't really impressive at linebacker, specifically the will position. Mike linebacker, not great either. As far as Sam goes, probably their best with Caleb Holloway, who's a junior, and again, you're going to get 2 years of eligibility with him, assuming that he doesn't transfer. But overall, Sam Houston looks like a great value version of Clemson with the logo and the color scheme, but they reside in Texas, so you got a lot of recruiting battles that you might be able to win as you gain success with this one-star school. I was kind of shocked to see UNLV to be a one-star school. They had a little bit of success last year. They did lose to Syracuse. As a Syracuse fan, I just felt that I needed to point that out here. But if you like playing in a cool stadium, they do play in the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium for their home games. Some of you might not want to use this team specifically for that. Some of you guys might find that cool. For the most part, the highest OVR players that we've looked at on all of these schools is roughly between 83 and 85. Well, they do have an 89 overall running back, Jaden Thomas, who is a junior with sidestep as his ability, not only 89 OVR, but also 89 speed. A nice feature back to give the ball to. And right behind him, junior class here, we have Jalen Glover, who's at an 85 OVR at the running back position with 90 speed, and we're not done there. We then have Kevon Lee, a senior running back with head first and armbar as physical abilities. He's up there in speed, but a little bit lower in OVR. 3 running backs at 1, 2, and 3, and the highest rated OVR players on this roster. At quarterback, you also have Michigan transfer Alex Orji. So if you're looking for a redemption storyline here, he's got Shifty and Magician as his abilities. Only 1 year left here, but he's obviously taking a step back. Going from Michigan over to UNLV, you can set up a nice little storyline on the Alex Orji comeback in College Football 26 with your one-star dynasty rebuild. Once upon a time, USF was actually good in football, but now they're down to a one-star school. Now you can try to rebuild them and relive those glory days of the 2016 season where they went 11-2 and 2017 season where they went 10-2, and this is the roster that you can do it with, highlighted by senior will linebacker Jalen Schuler, who's the highest OVR player on the squad at 85 OVR. He also has 82 speed, and he gets instinct as a mental ability along with the physical abilities of wrap up and outside disruptor. At linebacker, he's also going to give you 90 tackle, 85 hit power, 80 block shed, 87 power pursue, 89 play rec, only 68 man coverage, but 76 zone. You only get him for 1 year, but he definitely looks like the best player on the defensive side of the ball, next to Deshaun Rucker. Rucker, also a senior, but at the cornerback position, 6 foot tall, 84 OVR with 91 speed. He gives you ball hawk, knockout, and bouncer, some pretty good physical abilities on a cornerback. And when it comes to speed on the offensive side of the ball, you have junior Jaquan Smith, who's 5'10", no abilities, 70 OVR, but he does have 93 speed. You're also going to get 1 more year with quarterback Byron Brown, who had a really good 2023 season, 3,292 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, almost a 65% completion rate, but unfortunately last season he was injured. So here we have again another bounce back storyline for his senior year. You have a really good player at a very important position, obviously, and Byron Brown is going to give you 87 speed. He has physical abilities like extender, downhill, and off platform. 92 throw power is amazing, and then the short, mid, and deep throw accuracies, they get worse as they go, but a very usable quarterback for your first year in this rebuild. And if you take a look down the line here, we have freshman quarterback Lachlan Hewlett with pull down as an ability, 72 OVR, 72 speed, but it looks like he's going to be the quarterback of the future of this program, so you can get to a good start with your first year in Byron Brown, but you're already kind of set up for the future at the quarterback position while you recruit others. On the defensive side of the ball, we already highlighted a few of these players, but they got a lot of speed over there in the secondary. Freshman Gavin Jenkins, who is also 6'2", he's going to give you 90 speed, and at the free safety position, though he is a senior, Jalen Stokes, 6'1" free safety, also with 90 speed, but you can see a lot of the fastest players on this roster are at the cornerback position or even wide receiver. Unfortunately, a lot of them are going to be seniors. There's a few speedy underclassmen in here as well, and a handful of guys that have some good abilities, but overall, I think USF is another really fun one-star school to rebuild in College Football 26. So there you have it. Those are the best schools to rebuild in College Football 26. If you want to see a similar video with 2-star schools and even 3-star schools, again, please let me know down below in the comment section if that's something you want to see. And I do plan on doing a lot more rebuilds and dynasty videos on this channel for CFB 26, and some of the schools that we mentioned within this video are probably going to be on that list. Thank you guys for watching this one. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.